Today, for the very first time, All Pro Football 2K8. I had never hopped in and owned this game, played this game, or done anything relating to this game before this past week, and I decided, with the last couple of weeks before the new college football and everything comes out, and let's get some other throwback games. Let's go into one that I have never played before. So here are the rosters. While this is a unlicensed football game made up of just legends and former players, it might very well have the straight up best gameplay of any game for football. 2K, Madden, college football, any game like that for football, any other, other unlicensed or project game that's been made. And of course, I'm the guy who goes and sits here and watches these games and really keys in on the simulation aspect. And, well, why not go out there and play maybe the best one and see if it really does hold up to that claim? Because 2K5 is obviously the one that people point to as being like their favorite, but that is obviously because that is like a built-in franchise and it's an NFL game. But 2K8 kind of built upon the 2K5 stuff and made it maybe even a little bit better in some people's opinion. The game just didn't do well because it's an unlicensed non-NFL game. But I actually found a lot of things really interesting, and when I was going, because they immediately throw you into making a team in this game, and I made a team, and then I go through the menu, just kind of see what else is in, and I realized that you can create players. And then that's where everything changed. So a lot of these players that I'm showing you here, all these guys, the Barry Sanders, the Jerry Rices, and all them, we're going to be playing against them, but we won't be playing with them. So I'm going to be purely spectating these games, and I love that this game actually has, like, options for that. But seeing that I could create players, I thought, let's bring in some of my guys throughout the last 2 years, Madden and college football. Let's just bring in some of my favorites. You get 20 creation slots. I used all 20 of them. We're only going to be able to have, 11 of them on the team, but I wanted to create at least a player in every position, basically, and get in some of the guys from NFL head coach 09, from Washington, from Tennessee, get guys from Baylor, from NIU Dynasty, and some other of the miscellaneous videos that I have done. So you get to see plenty of the Titans guys here and plenty of the NFL head coach. So any series that you guys have watched on the channel, there's going to be, somebody kind of represented here. And putting together the team, I very much loaded it with these types of players, and here is the team that I went with. Jalen Lean, probably my favorite player on the channel, in history. And then, I miss Boar Jackson. I miss him, for those of you who watch the Titans series on NFL head coach 09. We're going to get to actually see him play. How about Chad Gunn at quarterback from Washington and NFL head coach 09? Mario Martinez, one of my favorite defensive players. A couple of other bronzes. There wasn't enough bronzes. I tried to make them true to what they were, so a lot of the players were kind of gold and silver. So we have a couple of bronzes in there. One of them even being a recent one for one of the videos I made, Kalen Shanny, the Return Man, if you guys haven't watched that Return Man career mode video. But I really like that you get to pick these teams, and you also get to pick, your specific, your non-star players. You get to kind of determine what they are specialized at, if you want them to be on offense or defense, run focus, pass focus. I think that's really cool. The only thing that this game, I think, really kind of disappoints me in is that I understand that it's like a legend focused game, but not having just kind of a franchise mode with dedicated, with the generic players and maybe putting them in there. It would have been nice for the lifeline of the game, but you get to create your team here. And when I was scrolling through, I landed on the Crabs. We're gonna be the Columbus Crabs, because what other game can you be the Crabs? That's silly. That's a funny generic team name. So we're gonna start a season here. We're gonna go through one full season spectating these games, all the way from week 1 to maybe a championship, a playoff appearance, whatever that may be. There's a decent amount of teams in this game. There's 2 conferences. It's an 8-team playoff. There's a decent amount in this game, and the real thing we're kind of focusing in here is the gameplay, though. Is this gameplay really that good? So we're going to have Kalen Shanny, Jalen Lean at wide receiver. We had a couple of real-life legends as our bronze players, Tony Baselli being one of them. We have Travian Davis at tackle, and Tony Baselli right and left. We have Bohr Jackson. Like I said, I miss Bohr. So, you know, we might not get to see him play in the Titans, but we'll get to see him play here. So at least there's that. Braylon Beaudreau from NFL head coach 09 for Washington. We also have Masarena Alea from NIU. You know, a couple of bronze players in there. Mario Martinez, an absolute monster for the Titans. We have one of our bronze players spent on William Perry, because why not? And Dexter Manley, a former Washington superstar. So I love that this is an old game, and whenever I play these old games, I always am like, man, what headache am I going to have to go through to spectate if there even is an option? And this one, none. There's no headache here. There's just straight up, for a game in 2007, 2008, just super sim, and you can jump in. That's sick. And there's also, not like some of the other Maddens, like, for example, Madden 25, the older one, when I did a video for that a few weeks back, where there is no spectate option for super sim, or there's no ability to just spectate the computer. There is in this game. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the second halves of these games, and we get a 75-yard touchdown there to one of our generic players. We're going to cover the second halves of these games and just have some fun here and see what this game is all about and just the pure gameplay of it all. So we hop in here. It's a rainy game. We're taking on New Jersey. We're down 21-10 to start off, and Kalen Shanny, I picked him because he can duel as a wide receiver and a return man, and a nice return here past midfield to the New Jersey 44. The creation was pretty simple. All you do is you slap on a couple of abilities that are, you know, unique to the player, and that's it. There's no overalls. There's no ratings, really, as Bohr Jackson breaks a tackle and gets a big 20-yard run. But while there is no overalls or anything, the abilities do a really good job of, like, actually making the players true to themselves. How about a little funny feature here? In the rain, tried to do a play action or a handoff, and Chad Gunn just slips and falls because it's raining. That's a little detail that's pretty cool. Throw it outside. That's caught in coverage. And a first down. Chad Gunn delivers to the 11-yard line as Gunn now throwing. 1st and 10. Over the middle. That ball's caught. There's a flag down. It's caught by Shanny. And you can see that this one is going to be on New Jersey. Pass interference, they call. I didn't really see much there, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a decline. We got the 9-yarder anyway. 2nd down and 1. It's a slip and fall again. And maybe some first game issues here for Chad Gunn on the offense. 3rd down and 7. Gunn outside. Ball was high and he can't bring it in, as they'll have to probably settle for a field goal here. And the kick is through. 25-yarder is good. We make it an 8-point game, as now we get to see the teams that we are up against. Some of them are really stacked. Some of them have like a bunch of gold. Some of them have like no golds, but like a bunch of silvers. You know, like, it's weird that not every team is built the same. Like, and we don't get those options. Like, the user team can only have 2 golds, 3 silvers, and that's it. But every other team kind of just has like 11 players of whatever they want. We got a quick 3 and out, and look at Bohr Jackson here for 5 yards. But I will say, me personally, this is actually generally how I like a game to be formatted, as that's forward progress is going to save his butt here. But I'm not really a big, like, I hate like superstar X factors, and I hate superstar abilities. I think every player should have the ability to have like a trait or a thing that they're good at, and then obviously the best of the best have a lot of things that they do very well. I think that should just kind of be a general thing here. And I like that this game has that, where the players have like these really unique abilities, and it really does, like, you could see them in real time. The best of the best feel like the best of the best. They don't feel like just kind of dudes who exist within the game that it only matters if you user them or not if you're playing the game. But we get a penalty here. This one's going to be a neutral zone infraction. Decline, because they got the first down. They'll toss it out, and on the edge, nice hit. Gets them down, and that'll be a gain of 3. 2nd down. They go draw, but we got it stuffed. There's the refrigerator, William Perry, one of our few legends, getting in there. As over the middle, that ball hit and incomplete. We take over now, still down by 8. Last play of the third quarter, potentially, as Jackson gets to the outside, breaks 2 tackles, making a third. Look at him running through people. That's what I mean, because that's what Boar Jackson is like, and all I did was just throw 3 abilities on him that were like the ones that I felt were the most accurate, and that's what he looks like. He just looks like a monster out there. Second down 11, throw it out. Boar spins off a defender, and we'll be third down and 9 now as we're too far out for field goal range. His gun throws it, deep pass, got a step, and he had to lay out for it, and he couldn't reel it in. Just a little too far, but he made the diving attempt and just could not reel it in. As now New Jersey takes it over. They toss it, and he loses yards. Third down and 9. As he'll drop and throw again. We send an extra man. He steps up, throws it down the field, knocked away. Nice swat. Will take over in great field position right around midfield. Gunn takes over with a designed movement on that play, and he almost threw an interception. Gunn, not a mobile quarterback, just purely a strong arm, deep ball thrower, and there is Kalen Shanny. Getting to see him as a receiver now because, you know, Kalen Shanny, for any of those like isolated player videos I've done, definitely one of my favorites, and we only got to watch him as a return man, so we get to watch him as a receiver today as well. And there's Jalen Leanne with the grab. We're at 4 minutes to play, and we're right into the red zone now as Boar met at the 20. He'll get a yard. So the red zone, chance to tie the game. Jackson up the middle, and Boar will have it to a third down and 2. Can we get the first? Short handoff. Boar spins off a tackler inside the 10, down to the 3, and we can tie this game up. Just got to get it in. Boar Jackson, hey, he's in for the touchdown, and now a 2-point conversion awaits for a tie game here. As we'll set up I formation. Gunn making some adjustments here as he goes under center. And handoff. Jackson tries to get outside, but he stopped. And a nice tackle. We're going to kick the onside here. That's interesting that the AI actually acknowledges that, hey, we might have all of our timeouts in the 2-minute warning, but they're still going to kick the onside, which is maybe the right thing to do there, as the run will get nothing. 2-minute warning hits. Toss it out. And with room, there he goes! First down and more! And diving and getting him at the ankles. He's inside the 15. We can still stop him, though. We have 2 timeouts. As it'll run, it's at the 10, down to the 7. Gotta hold to a field goal here or it's over. Handoff is stuffed in the backfield. There's our final timeout with 1:45 to play. One more handoff, and he's met short of the first down. It'll be 4th, and they will kick it with about a minute to play, which hurts us because now we need a touchdown in 1 minute or it is all over. We got to go 71 yards. As Chad Gunn, what do you got for us? He's sacked on the short drop. Just hit too quickly there, and maybe needed a more of a 7-step drop on that play. As Gunn, there you go, a little bit further, create some space outside, and incomplete, just too far out of reach. Third down at 14. Gunn is stepping up, throw it over the middle, it's caught, and there's the first down. We gotta hurry it back to the line. 30 seconds and counting, as you're gonna have to spike it here. As Gunn to the line. 27 seconds, he gets it down at 26. He got to go 55 yards still. Can't afford to really get tackled in bounds unless it's a big, big play. There's a catch, and out of bounds, Shanny for 5. We'll take that as long as he is out of bounds. As Gunn from midfield, over the middle and incomplete. Maybe not so bad that it wasn't caught, because I don't know if it would have been worth the time you lose. Gunn dropping out here on 4th down. It's caught over the middle of the field. And while you did get 16, you're going to run back to the line and spike it. And this might be the final play of the game. You're going to get the spike off with 4 seconds to go. But here we are with the final play. Just got to let him get to the end zone. Hey, he does it. He's sacked immediately. And that is game. We lose our first one. But there was already, I could tell, like, right off the bat, I think if you're like, really paying attention, the way the quarterback moves and navigates the pocket is already better than any AI that you'll see in like the current games. And I don't want this to just turn into like I praise 2K and dunk on EA, because I typically try to be pretty charitable to even like the current games, because I do think, it does get a little harsh sometimes, but also you can very much acknowledge the differences here. I just think my favorite thing that I noticed is like that pocket navigation, the way the quarterback navigates and moves and steps up and steps to the right or left, and it doesn't just stand there like a clueless idiot and get pummeled. Like, I think that's a very important thing when you're doing like this CPU on CPU stuff here. So we'll get into game number 2. Took on New Jersey last time. Now we're taking on New York. So we're staying in the area, as that is going to be a 17-14 game as we start the second half, with New York having the football and getting tackled in the backfield, losing yards, 3rd and 13, and he gets hit, incomplete. We'll get the punt into New York territory, so not a long punt, as Bohr will get 3. He's got another star last game, over 100 yards on 21 carries, as Gunn, short drop and sacked. So it's plays like that where you have that short drop and it's kind of designed to get the ball out quickly, and he just couldn't do it, and that is a nice one in the face of pressure to Kalen Shanny. All right, they'll take that to the red zone we go, as Jalen Leanne for 5. And I love seeing Jalen Leanne in any universe get the ball in his hands, as Bohr breaks a tackle. And just the way he's able to muscle off a defender is just awesome there. As a short drop again. The short drops, you got to get it out quicker, though. 2nd down and 12. Swings it outside. There you go. That's what I mean. Get it out quickly. Bohr spinning around, just starting into a bit of a cyclone there. And a 3rd down and 11. And Gunn with 2 men extra into block. They kind of missed the assignment there, but Gunn actually sheds the sack and gets rid of it. Incomplete. No one got open in that amount of time, though. That's pretty disappointing. We'll have to settle for 3. Kick on its way. It is good, so we take a 6-point lead as New York takes over. Short drop, swing it out to the back. And he'll have about 2 on the play. As back to the line they go and swing it out to a quick like hitch route, but that was short for even a hitch route. It was like right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 6. Deep drop, steps up and throws outside along the sidelines, and he's got it. What a grab, as they'll swing to the out route. And you can see this is more what you're kind of looking for on those short drops. Just, take 2 steps and turn, throw. That's more what we need Chad Gunn to do, and not take sacks. 3rd down and 4, as he'll take that quick drop over the middle, and it's a bad ball, though, and there's a penalty, and this is crazy, man. It's little things like this that it's like, it's frustrating, but also kind of cool. A late hit. He was down, and one of our defenders dove into him while he was on the ground. So it's a late hit. And that's very real. That happens, especially more so now than it does in previous years. That's a touchdown. It's Walter Payton running through the defense for the lead. But, like you're looking at a game from the 2000s where, the rules were a little bit more loose when it came to hits. Like, nowadays they are looking to protect players way more. If you get in there, you go head to head, you go and hit somebody while they're on the ground and already kind of given up, like, you'll get flagged even more than you would in the past. So the fact that it's in this old game is pretty cool as well. Sack on 3rd down, so we'll have to punt it away, down by 1 and having to stop Walter Payton. I don't think that's ever a situation you want to be in, as he'll get 3 on the play and toss it out to him. He goes inside on the toss, so it's another interesting thing where they kind of cut that toss on the inside there as a deep drop. Throw it outside, floating it for Payton, who lined up out wide. And, I mean, he's just doing it all right now. 45-yard line as he'll drop quick outside, wide open. Where was the defense there? I think just it got to be a straight-up miscommunication or something, because he was so wide open. And the easiest touchdown you'll have takes an 8-point lead, so still a 1-score game, but just 5 minutes to play as Bohr on the swing pass. And you can see a lot more checkdowns get hit here, which, again, also to an extent pretty realistic. I don't feel like in the current games they hit their running backs that much on, like, 1-2 hit the check down. Like, if that's the read, then, you know, that's what you should be doing. 4th and 3. This is also interesting. They're going for it at the 27-yard line. That's a level of aggression that I never see. What do you mean you went for it at your own 27 in a one-score game? That's crazy, but awesome because we got it. As Board will get 3. So the AI logic also has some different decision-making here. We've already seen an onside kick past the 2-minute warning with all the timeouts, like, you know, still with the 2-minute warning left. So you don't usually see that. And then going for it inside your own 30 in a one-score game is crazy. And it wasn't even like 4th and 1 or 4th and inches. Like, it was 4th and 4. So Gunn hit as he's throwing here. 2nd down and 10. 3:20 to play as Gunn, quick ball down the field. Defender got a hand on it. Needed a little bit more loft on a 3rd and 10. Gunn is getting hit and dropped. And it's 4th and 13. We will punt it this time around. And yeah, you're not going to go for it on 4th and 13, but you need to stop Walter Payton as he's going to get 8 on the play, and we could fall to 0-2 here. It is a 16-game schedule, so there's still plenty of time, but don't want to fall too far behind the schedule here as we will get the 3 and out, burn our timeout. We'll have 2 minutes to go in 2 timeouts, so plenty of time to make it happen as that throw low, and that's caught. Got a 1st down. Gunn in the face of pressure. Caught! Breaks a tackle! And Jalen Leanne gone for the touchdown. That was beautiful. Just got that right in. Look at the fireworks in the background, too. Jalen Leanne, can we tie it up? We were in this situation last game. 2-point conversion didn't go our way. Can it happen this time around? From the 2, under center, Gunn will throw it this time. And Gunn hit it, it's into the dirt. Just couldn't get an extra half second he needed. I don't even know if he would have gotten it anyway, but onside kick now is picked up by New York, and now if we even can get the ball back, it'd probably be, what, like 30 seconds, maybe 40 if you're lucky. But yeah, it's looking like you're not going to be able to get much here. Was Payton will get them maybe into field goal range. 3rd down and 3. Counter run in the backfield, and he's stopped. And they're going to take a risk here. They're actually going to kick the field goal. If they miss it, this is disastrous. But the boot from 51 is good. They call it from 50. We'll have 30 seconds to play, and now we need a touchdown. And a familiar scenario here as they'll throw it up top and incomplete. Defender got a hand on that one too. 27 seconds to play as Gunn floating over the middle. That's triple coverage. Not going to get away with that one. 22 seconds to play as Gunn is floating for the tight end. And that is a completion to the 39. But I don't know if you're really going to be able to do much else other than throw a Hail Mary here. As Gunn spikes it with 8 seconds to go. And this is going to be quite the long throw if you do get it. And he won't get it. He'll just check it down. Not be able to get it to bounce. So that's still like a thing in this game. You know, I don't want to just be like a praise fest, but like that's something that shouldn't happen. You should never be throwing a check down in the middle of the field with 8 seconds to play. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that just ends the game. But they just lost to Johnny Unitas and his 3 touchdown passes. But it was Walter Payton who was the star, 122 yards and a touchdown, as Board didn't have nearly as good of a game. But Jalen Leanne, 12 grabs for about 150 and a touchdown, so he was on fire today. Unfortunately for us, we're 0-2. We need to lock it. I mean, both of them have been against, you know, we'll see if they end up being good teams, but like, you know, 1-score games, and really the 2-point conversion was the difference in both of them. If we would have got the 2-point conversions, it would have been a little bit different. But here, it's actually a little bit of a different story. We're taking out Tampa Bay, and we're up 17-0. Tampa Bay has the ball to start the second half, and they are already in our territory. So can we hold our 17-point lead here and get our first win of the season? Handoff, and they got a running back with number 62. That is kind of disgusting to look at. I mean, these players, so a lot of these players are well before my time. You know, some of them go way, way back. So, you know, while I do know most of these guys, I don't know 100% of them. I'm not really familiar with Charlie Trippy. You know, I don't know how many Charlie Trippy fans are there, because he is running through our defense right now. And he's at the 11-yard line. And we got a jump there. Free play. He does get the sack. Well, maybe it's because you jumped. and you got a quick start on it, so take that sack off the board. If you want maybe a little history lesson, because I wanted to know a little bit about some of these players that I was unfamiliar with, like Charlie Trippi. There's a reason why I didn't know him. He was drafted in 1945, the #1 overall pick in 1945, though, on the Cardinals, the Chicago Cardinals, but he was a all-decades player in the 40s and a champion, so, you know, good on him. As Trippi finds his way into the end zone, a touchdown. Like, the people who made this game, they really just went through the depths of wherever to find whoever wanted to be in this game, because there's some players in here that aren't even, like, crazy great. Like, there's some, like, randoms in here, like, that are just kind of whatever. There's some really old players. There's some really, like, obvious names, obviously, like we know about the Berries and the Marinos and everything, but there's some, like, deep cuts in here of, like, players where it's like, man, I didn't even know who this dude is, and I'd like to think I'm pretty well educated in the world of the NFL's history, and it's like, man, I guess I gotta do some research on the 1940s to learn some of these guys. So that's kind of cool. Like, you just see different names. You just see players that you never knew about. Like, I think that's awesome. We aren't even really doing much on offense, but the thing is Tampa Bay's just taking so long on their drive. We're already in the fourth quarter, and Charlie Trippi's over here running through this defense still. But we went 3 and out, basically, and then gave him the ball right back. And, yeah, I mean, it's a 10-point game, but they still need to maybe get at least a field goal in this drive. 3rd down and 3, outside, got the completion, and they might just be in field goal range now, as with 6.5 to go. It's just been mostly our defense on the field and them chipping away at it little by little at the 27. Trippi on the outside. Can't do anything with it, though. Loses a yard and under center. Drops back on 3rd and 8. Got to maintain field goal range, but he's sacked at the 33. And they, because of that, are going to punt with 5 minutes to play. That is depressing for them. But the punt... hang time. I like the little hang time counter. That used to be in Madden's. I actually, even though it's kind of like pointless in some ways, like it doesn't really have a lot of significance, I kind of like the little hang time thing. So with the ball back, we'll go hand off Bohr. Spins off a tackler. Look at Bohr run and take it down, but a 1st down. As Bohr Jackson, just so fun to watch no matter what universe he's in, I guess, as when he is healthy, he might be the greatest to ever do it, but he's just never healthy. But in this universe, he is. So we could celebrate that as Bohr on the sweep. And we'll go to 4th down. So we were able to successfully run off a couple of minutes. And now the offense for Tampa Bay really needs to pick up the pace here. They are going with the hurry up as they'll throw it up top and incomplete. One-on-one coverage, and it did not go their way as he'll throw again. This time over the middle. It's caught, and there's a flag down. And this one, sometimes I can't really tell with these penalties where they're going to go with it. Could be a hold, could be something here where it is what is that symbol? Clipping. I think it's clipping. I don't know what that symbol was for a moment, but it is clipping. Okay, so back him up. 2nd and 13 as he's got extra blockers in. Deep ball! What a hit! Just leveled him and he couldn't bring it in. 3rd and 13. Deep ball! 1-on-1! What a pick! Just leaped up. And that ball was maybe just slightly underthrown, and Braylon Beaudreau with the pick. We go 3 and out. They burn their timeouts, and we're going to get a little repeat here, because look at this! Braylon Beaudreau again with an interception on back-to-back drives. So, I didn't want to show you us just running halfback dive 3 times and then punting, and this was like immediately when they got the ball back, Braylon Beaudreau catches another interception. So that's 2 in the final 2 minutes for him, as Neil O'Donnell did not have a good game. Really bad, actually. Charlie Trippi, though, look at that, 96 yards and a touchdown. But Bohr, I would like to give him the ball a little bit more. Jalen Leanne leading the way receiving again, which we love to see, as we had a couple of sacks from Dexter Manley as well. And then, of course, the 2 interceptions from Braylon Beaudreau. So we get a win on the board, and now we take on Pittsburgh here and trying to get another one going. And here's the first play of the second half. Bohr is loose, and Bohr Jackson tracked down. There's a flag, but it is going to be you seen the quick jump there, so we're obviously going to decline that. And Bohr Jackson almost just went the distance to kick things off here. It's a 10-10 game, so all tied up, and obviously declining the offsides penalty as we'll take it inside the 25 of the Pittsburgh offense now, seeing what they can do. Bohr with just a 1-yard grab as from the 24, second down and 9, and throwing a floater over the middle. That's Jalen Leanne for 7, 3rd and 2 as they send a couple down. They drop back, and the tight end's got it. We didn't draft like a good tight end or anything. We just have a generic out there, but he did his thing. 1st and goal. Gun. Clean pocket. Outside. Tight end not able to reel that one in this time. So 2nd down and goal as they go Bohr's way. Bohr runs through a defender, and he's got the touchdown. And man, Bohr Jackson's a lot of fun to watch in this universe too. He's just running through everybody. I mean, my goodness, this is why Bohr can't have a clean bill of health in our NFL head coach 09 universe, because he'd just be too dang good. As Pittsburgh is throwing outside. That's a one-handed kind of spinning grab there for 3. Let me know what you thought of me going with some of like the channel legends and some of my favorite guys here rather than just going with the legends. I had a legend team drafted, but then when I discovered that you could create players, I'm like, man, it'd be kind of more fun to just have these guys in here and, you know, have a, you know, maybe a little bit more of a connection to them and see some team ups that we'll never get to see maybe, you know, in their original series, you know, getting to see, you know, my Washington quarterback and NFL head coach 09 throw to, you know, Jalen Leanne from NIU and hand off to Bohr from, you know, the Titans. You know, it's kind of cool, but maybe you would have preferred to see the legends. Maybe it opens the door for me to go and play this game again and maybe even play the game instead of spectate. I don't know. Maybe we have some options on the table to get another video out here. Just kind of depends on what you guys want to see. And if you do like this, you can let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff to help me out here as we're kind of gearing up towards College Football 27 and getting some other videos out in the meantime as they are goal to go from the 7. Draw, make them down at the 8. And 3rd quarter, down to about a minute to play. 2nd and goal, trying to get that tie. Ball is knocked away on the outside, and if he was able to jump up and catch that one, he might have been off and running to the end zone. Instead, it'll be 4th and goal after that breakup, and a field goal try. Chip shot 24 yards. Kick is good. And we'll maintain a lead here as we get things started at the 29. Gun deep drop, throwing it down the field. Guess who? It's Jalen Leanne splitting the defense, and he's gone 71 yards on the first play of the drive. And Jalen Leanne coming up with big plays for his crew to give us a 2-score lead. And that was awesome to see some explosive plays in this game, as well as that ball knocked down and the defense now playing with a 2-score cushion. And all we got to do is just not blow this one as we'll head to the 4th quarter in maybe another play or 2. 3rd down and 2, and that ball caught. He goes to the ground. And yeah, here we go, 4th quarter. They are right around midfield, and he gets sacked sandwiched between 2 defenders. 2nd and 17, and a quick pass to the tight end, breaks a tackle, is off and running, not fast enough though to go all the way, but he gets to the 15. And now in the red zone, can we hold to maybe a field goal? That would be pretty ideal. They get a catch there for 3. They rule his feet inbound. 2nd down and 7. As it off the edge head, gets him. Dexter Manley broke up that one. 3rd down and 7 from the 11, and hit again. And they'll have to settle for 3. That's big for us because kick on its way is good, but we maintain an 8-point lead with 6.5 to go, so we still have a little bit of a nice cushion here, especially if we can find more points. As outside, Jalen Leanne has been unreal so far. He has a 150-yard game under his belt. That 71-yard touchdown, he's already proven to be about as good of a receiver as you could hope for. And, well, our 2 gold players are Bohr and Jalen Leanne, and I think you could pretty easily say those have been the 2 best players. It's Jalen Leanne again, this time in traffic with the grab. As they swing it out, Bohr breaks through 1, and Bohr, it took 2 more to get him down. 2nd and 7, 4.5 to go. Quick drop, outside, and there he is, Jalen Leanne again, a first down. And we're just feeding him. This is what I want to see, man. This is a dream. Bohr and Jalen Leanne offense, this is beautiful. 4 minutes to go. As a turn and hand, Jackson will make it 3rd down and 9, but we're in field goal range, I think. I mean, we should be able to hit from here. We'll go ground again, and Jackson not able to get the first, but we'll get a couple more. We'll get about 5, make it a very makeable, about 40-yard kick for a 2-score lead, and the kick is good. And we'll take it by 11 now with 2:20 to go. On track for another win and getting kind of out of that 0-2 hole. And oh, baby, we won't. Look at that, 66 yards. And he tried to intercept that one as Masarena Alea had it, and it just kind of went right through his hands. Misjudged it, miscalculated it. That's just really unfortunate. 2-point conversion, swing it outside, it's good. And now we're at a field goal game with 2:11 to go. They will line up for the onside kick, and up and reeled in by Columbus, and we will have it with 2 to go. Turn and hand, Bohr. Can Bohr ice the game here? Well, that's a beautiful start. 9 yards is perfect. 2-minute warning as he'll turn in hand again. Jackson outside, first down. And they got to burn a timeout. One more will basically do it as Jackson gets to the edge. And Jackson is breaking off a 1, spins inside the 10. We end up just kind of playing it very conservative here. We run the clock down under 30 seconds to go. We make them have all their timeouts wasted. We kick a field goal. That's good. So they'll get 22 seconds to play. No timeouts and needing to score a touchdown. And that short pass, I mean, you may have gotten 8 yards, but I don't think it is going to be worth the time you are losing here, as one more play in bounds and this game is over. They won't spike it. They'll just throw with 6 seconds to go. That's a nice catch, but, well, you're out of time. And that will be game, so we win back-to-back there. And we have dug ourselves out of the 0-2 hole, but now let's see if we can continue on that. Chad Gunn, 20 of 22. One thing you will notice, and, you know, this game does have faults, of course. This game is not perfect because of, like, the talent discrepancy, like, great quarterbacks, but not, you know, teams having top-of-the-line great defenses, only just kind of defenses with a couple of nice players. The stats are really inflated. Like, the stars will dominate some games. So we get into our next one, and this one I didn't feel like was necessary. We're just going to catch you with the highlights. We were up 28-0, and look at Bohr Jackson! Gone for a touchdown from 45. So we're up 28-0. They put up a field goal, but we run it down and run through their defense to make it 35-3. It was a face mask, so they'll decline. But I want to also show you this play on the following kickoff. This was a demonic play as they'll kick it deep, and this isn't even on this is happening to us as Detroit to the outside. Look at this. Breaks a tackle. Breaks 2 along the sidelines. Stands in bounds. Another one. Make it 4. And taking it all the way. If it wasn't for the fact that this game was a blowout, I mean, I maybe would have had a lot of concern, but we do end up winning this game 35-17. It was maybe basically just garbage time stuff, and we were running the clock out. We weren't really doing anything too crazy, but Bohr runs for another 160 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Leanne, 173 yards and 3 touchdowns, all of which came in the first half and was just insane. So we are on a bit of a win streak now as we head to our next one. Boston. They are the #1 team in the conference right now. They are a clean, I think, 5-0, 4-1 right now. Like, they are kind of steamrolling teams, and right now we are close with them. 14-14 the score. So we'll see what we can do as their opening kickoff of the second half was a good one, and then immediately they find themselves at the 23-yard line with that catch. So we are really in for a fight here, as this is the best team we've taken on up until this point. And they got my guy, Marcus Allen. Touchdown. Marcus Allen, one of my favorite old school players that, you know, maybe well before my time, I never got to watch him live. I have a lot of appreciation for Marcus Allen. I think he's sick. So, you know, getting to play him is awesome. You know, him being in a game is cool. So, actually, That is a question that I do wonder, because people are like, man, if you never watched them in their time, that's cool. Like, you can like them, but you can't really like them because you just weren't there for them. But who's one of those players that just maybe like before your time, but man, you really like watching them, like watching their highlights or watching their story or whatever. And maybe someone not like, just Barry or Jerry Rice, which obviously they're awesome, but like, getting one of those guys like Marcus Allen, who, maybe does get a little slept on in all-time history because he doesn't have like an insane amount of like 1,000-yard seasons to his name. He's more like longevity, a lot of touchdowns, but that 6 Super Bowl run against my favorite team, but 6 Super Bowl run and a Super Bowl MVP to his name. So there's cool players like that I have a lot of appreciation for, even though I never got to watch them live. But we're getting to play one of those guys. Allen on the toss, and we just leveled him in the backfield. They're down at their own 1 right now as the handoff gets out of the end zone, and it'll be set up 3rd down and 9. So we weren't able to do anything with our offensive possession, but we were able to force a very easy 3 and out. Allen's got 93 yards as they will punt. And punting from their own end zone, it's not a great one. We're going to field it inside the opponent's 40, so that's a really good starting field position for us to maybe go ahead and tie this game if we want to go get something on offense. The fullback with the grab here, and look at a fullback making a play for 6. 2nd down and 4. Bohr on the outside, and there goes Jackson for the 1st down and a spin move to the red zone. And Jackson, once he gets going, it is so fun to watch. Like I love when the running backs get to the 2nd level in this game, because they will make your secondary members pay. Like, it's not easy to tackle them in open field. And Jackson getting to that 2nd level again, to the 5-yard line, as they'll go quick drop and swing it to the fullback as a 3rd quarter winding down, but we're at goal to go from the 4-eye formation as Bohr hands it to him, and Jackson down at the 1. We'll go to the 4th quarter on that. 3rd and goal from the 1. Can we find our way in? Jackson untouched. There we go. And we'll tie this game up on a Bohr touchdown. 21-21, and we're giving one of the best teams in this season a pretty tough fight here, and really showing, man, we're a lot better than the 0-2 start that we had. As Allen tackled for a loss of 5. 3rd down and 15. He's sacked! And we're going to get this ball back once again, presumably a pretty good field position. William Perry got in there, and now from midfield as we start our drive. And Gunn brought down. That's brutal. 2nd down and 19 is going to be the spot at the 40. Gunn swings it, and there's Bohr on the outside. Jackson will get us a fine 7 yards, but it's still 3rd down and 12 as Gunn is able to shed a sack, throw it the other way, caught, and there's Bohr Jackson, and he's all the way down the field into the red zone. That was a heck of a play, and then floating to the end zone, touchdown, we take the lead with 5 minutes to play. What a series from Chad Gunn, as that ball, oh my goodness, that should have been a pick. That should have been an easy pick, but he dropped it. And now Marcus Allen can't get anything going. It's 3rd down and 10. And we can maybe keep our win streak going here as they'll throw it in. No, it's caught at midfield. And they'll go down to about 4 minutes to play. Plenty of time to make something happen, especially when you're getting chunk plays like that. Nice job to avoid the big hit from Alea. And now from the 31, Allen running. Tries to run through a defender, but he gets stopped by 2. 6 yards, and they'll go swing one outside. Caught, turns the defender around, and he's in the red zone, inside the 10 to the 7. There we go. Now defense, can you come up with the big stop? The float one outside, and caught at the 2, and he goes out of bounds. Come on, defense. 3rd and goal to Allen. Touchdown in a true Marcus Allen fashion. He finds the end zone from a short distance. We're tied up with 2 minutes to play. And can we go on a game-winning drive? That's an incomplete pass to start. As Gunn short and gets it out. There's a nice one to Shanny for 4. Makes it 3rd and manageable as Gunn out route right to the sticks. And he's a yard shy. And we'll have to punt it. That one is maybe like if you wanted to go real risky, you could have went for it, but we don't. We punt it away, and now I'm a little scared because there's a nice one to the 41-yard line. There's a minute and a half to play, and there's a sack! Huge! to back them up and maybe try to turn things into an overtime situation because we're trying to escape regulation. He's hit it incomplete. 3rd and 19 as they'll go short and they will just play it safe. We'll burn the timeout now. We got a minute to play. Now it's our turn to really think about something happening. Bohr quick out in the flats and Jackson not able to make a man miss. He got 2. His gun now. He's got time. Floats it. Caught! And we're at the 46. Hurry it back to the line. If we could go and get maybe... Our kicker isn't good, so I'd say 15 at least, I think, is what we would need. Swing it to Bohr. A lot of checkdowns, but get the ball in the best player's hands. We'll take 5. We still have 2 timeouts. 30 seconds of clock running. We're still hurrying it up. I think you obviously saved one of your timeouts for the potential field goal try, but you still have another one to use as Gunn hit as he's throwing, and it's incomplete. 3rd down and 5. And if you get this, you can maybe go for a field goal. If not, it's overtime as Gunn gets rid of it. And we will be headed to overtime. So it is 28-28. This is a sudden death overtime. So old football rules and, old NFL rules where it's just first score wins. And Boston will have the ball first. Not good because in a sudden death, you want that ball first, have that first crack at it. But we will have to go trot out the defense and floating, incomplete, knocked away by Mario Martinez. Maybe could have picked that one off. Short drop here, floats it for the tight end, and he's going to get a couple more there. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. Can we force the 3 and now Allen on the ground, and Marcus Allen, 3 yards, but he needed 4. We'll get it back, and we can win the game here, but Bohr loses 4. And now we're the ones backed up. As they'll throw it outside, that's going to get us the lost yards back, but still 3rd down and 10. Now we might go 3 and out. As they'll throw one deep and incomplete. Defender disrupted that one. So good on them. Boston's drive starts with a free play, and that free play will basically result in nothing because they just go and give it up. But it's going to be a free 5 yards there, and that's brutal because they're already in good field position right now. They're getting close to midfield. They don't got to go too much longer for a field goal. I don't know if we got to start thinking about a tie or whatever, but from the 44, they go handoff. Marcus Allen gets to the second level. Marcus Allen! There he goes! And he's not going to be caught. It's a game-winning walk-off for Marcus Allen. And a touchdown for the win. Unreal, man. The counter, look at the guard. The fullback hits that block and seals it. It's a really well done play. And Allen ends it. So a nice little win streak. But we go down here. And it was one of the best teams we could have played. But man, that is unfortunate. As we were not able to continue things. Allen goes for 150. 3 rushing touchdowns. He also had a receiving touchdown as well. So 4 touchdowns for Marcus Allen. That sounds about right. Kalen Shanny had the big day receiving as well. And yeah, that just stinks. But I mean, all of our losses have been really close so far. We have been perfectly fine in that regard. So we're going to see if we can not drop any of these other 1-score game potentially and just come out here and take care of business. Maybe you could say we've been a little unclutched so far. 2 2-point conversions that could have changed things, and then the overtime game. But I just see it as hey, everyone's pretty good here. Everyone's got talent. Everyone's got a star player. Everyone's got somebody who can change the course of a game. Let's just hope in these, clutch situations we were able to come out on top as we got ourselves a 10-7 game here. Carolina, the opponent, and a stop in the backfield, so 3rd down and 7, taking their shot deep and tipped into the hands of Braylon Beaudreau. Picked. It got swatted down by one defender and just perfectly into the hands of the other guy. That is awesome. A sack, though, will really put a hamper on this drive as Gunn will throw. Floated for Kalen Shanny and not able to get that speed going too much. He got 10 yards, the 3rd down and 6. And that's a free rusher getting in, and Gunn goes down. So a 3 and out, unfortunately. We'll pin him at the 14-yard line, and Carolina takes over, floating one deep, and a nice job in one-on-one coverage. Linebacker out there on a tight end, and he just got enough on there to make sure that didn't happen, but they will come back the other way and get a first down this time around. So 25-yard line over the middle, somehow got that through on Mario Martinez. There's some real traffic there, but he somehow completed that one. So under center, they go handoff, trying to go wide left, and he's down for a loss. 3rd down and 6. That was Mario Martinez with the stop, as they'll go with a throw here. 3rd down over the middle, and incomplete. We'll take over. Jackson on the handoff, and he'll go down for a gain of 1. One thing I would like to have seen, I'm obviously not asking for patches or anything, but one thing I would have liked to see here is the star players. I would like to see the stars under them in spectating, so we know who we're looking for. Well, we know who John Gunn's looking for. It's Jalen Leanne for the touchdown, all the way to take a 10-point lead. But I think it'd be more so for defense to see Martinez there with that little silver star under him, so we know to key in on those players. But I think that it is a thing in the on-field product, just not in the spectating. So it is what it is. A deep pass, and Braylon Beaudreau has been awesome. Knocks that down. We'll have the ball back in once again. Pretty dang good field position, as we'll get a low ball for 7. 4th quarter upon us as we're looking to get back to our winning ways. 3rd down and 2, though, from the 47. Hand off to Bohr, and he's got the first. 44-yard line, as we could go and find the end zone here and make it a 3-score game. It would most likely be all over. 5 yards to Bohr. Just keep grinding it out with Jackson. Go again. Jackson, first down. I mean, why stop giving him the ball? It's just 5+ yards every single time, it feels like. Toss it out to him. He goes back inside. That was actually just a gain of 1, so they did a nice job there. 2nd down and 9, but can you do it 2 in a row? Jackson, all right. 3rd down and 6. Keep it moving, though. 5 minutes to play. We're winding this clock down. Gunn gets rid of it, and it's tipped along the sidelines. They wanted it for Leanne. Couldn't get it. Field goal try instead. Keeps it a 2-score game, and the kick is no good. Missed it, and yeah, kicker is important. I didn't want to use one of my 11 players on a kicker, but kicker is important. So, we're going to see some misses every once in a while, but Carolina hurrying it back, and they're trying to move fast here. 4.5 to go, and you can see, the hurry up. They got 7 yards on that play, and they're going to keep it going as under center. They'll throw again, and with pressure in, they do get a quick throw, and over the middle once more. I mean, 4 minutes is still plenty of time, especially now that they are in basically long distance field goal range. 54 if they have a kicker that they drafted, and actually have a star kicker. Regardless if they do or not, well, there's 15 yards, and that certainly, even if they don't have a good kicker, should be enough. It would be inside 40 yards now, as their hurry up is not really necessary right now. Swing it outside, get into the red zone, and they'll get 4, but they are still hurrying it back up. 3:30 to go, and the defense, can we come up with another big play? Make this a little bit more difficult on them. Can we at least hold them to the field goal first? I think we might be able to do it. There's a sack, and it's 3rd down and 11. And they're still hurrying up. Maybe a good chance to huddle here if you wanted to get the right play in, but they will just drop and throw. And up top, knocked down, and they could have had a pick. Instead, they'll settle for 3, and their field goal. We missed ours, and they missed theirs. No good. We both missed kicks. So we're even in that regard. As Jackson on the toss, we maintain our double-digit point lead, and that missed field goal might have been just the death sentence for Carolina. As Jackson, how are you going to stop him here? There's 3rd down and inches. So now Jackson, 2 minutes to play. Timeouts will start to be used. Jackson with the spin move. Spins again. Jackson breaks a tackle. Gets the final block he needed. And he is gone. Touchdown. 60 yards for Bohr Jackson. And the dagger in this one for the win. So we'll get to the end here. No need to continue on. They scored a garbage time touchdown at the very, very end. That doesn't really matter. But we get the victory. And Bohr Jackson runs for 152 with 2 touchdowns, including that awesome 60-yarder. Jalen Leanne had 90 plus yards as well, and Braylon Beaudrew had the interception, so we get back on the winning side of things, and we take on a really tough Washington team here, as it's the first play. Oh, come on the first play of the half. He is tracked down at the 11. And we immediately have a big run to Earl Campbell, 63 yards. I mean, the running backs in this game is the real gauntlet here. There's so many great running backs that you have to stop, from Peyton to Barry, Allen, to Campbell, and whoever else is, on the board there whenever, we get to play them. But it's going to be a field goal. So even though they got a 63-yard run, we were able to hold them from getting a touchdown, which is awesome. Chad Gunn, meanwhile, he starts the drive slipping, but he does stay on his feet. And then a drop from Shanny, which, the rain definitely playing a factor here. And that ball incomplete, 3rd down and 10. Dropping to throw, and a pump fake over the middle. He does get the grab, but he's 2 yards shy. I think seeing a little pump fake there, as he'll take back over. And look at Washington with a big play. And Alea chasing him down, and he does. But man, couple of big plays, back-to-back drives for Washington. Can we hold on a little bit here, as there goes Earl Campbell breaking it free for a touchdown. My goodness, man, we are not playing some good defense at really all in this 3rd quarter, as Gunn takes a shot deep. It's got him, but no, it's a drop. Unbelievable. A drop. That would have been most likely a touchdown, as it's caught. Jalen Leanne will get the first here, but that is just a brutal one. We're playing the worst quarter imaginable right now, as a catch there for the tight end. It does run laterally, not so much vertically. We'll get 8 yards still. 2nd down and 2. I have formation. Go to Bohr. Tries to get to the outside, and he does not even really get any yards, actually. They go the other way this time, and Jackson, that's a nice tackle, meeting him in the hole and not letting him fall forward. That's a punt now. So Washington, 10 unanswered, couple of big plays, and still we're in the 3rd quarter here, as a deep drop, 2nd and 10. Taking his time, finds a man on the outside, and he missed the pass, break up, and he's gone for 80. Touchdown, Washington, 17 unanswered. A awful 6 minutes of football here. That is just brutal. Big play after big play, and I don't know what is going on right now. The other games, it was we weren't playing this bad here. Maybe it's the rain, but we've played in the rain before. Tip ball, and it's scooped up and picked off. Oh my goodness, man. That is just a tip pick that it's obviously unlucky that it tipped into a defender's hand, but that was a throw in traffic. You kind of deserve it with the way you were throwing that ball into traffic, man. You just can't be doing that. So 3rd down and 14. Luckily for the defense, we're able to get an interception right back. Braylon Beaudrew has been on one this first half of the season, so we'll go last play of the 3rd quarter potentially here with Chad Gunn outside. That's caught, short gain, and we will be on to the final play of the 3rd quarter now with Gunn. At the buzzer, we'll have a pass broken up, 3rd down and 6. We're on to the 4th, and we need to stop this momentum, and knocked away, 3 and out. Man, this has just been brutal. I really don't have an explanation for this one. Campbell on the ground. Now, with the lead, Washington could just ride Earl Campbell, which is, again, not something you want to deal with. As Campbell, that's a great wrap-up tackle, though. I think that was Alea in there. 3rd down and 11. As they'll fire one deep. And incomplete, almost intercepted off the tip. We'll take it over, though. Can we not go 3 and out again? Can we not have some misfortune strike, as the fullback will get 4? And Gunn is pressured, gets rid of it. It's a wobbler into traffic. Gunn's having a brutal game, but they are over everything. 3rd down and 6. Outside, incomplete. Tried to hit the out route, but the linebacker was sitting on it. And we got to punt it away again. Campbell, 6 minutes to play. There goes Earl Campbell for a 1st down into territory of Columbus, as we are really struggling so much on both sides. I mean, we got to hold to at least a field goal. Campbell, 3rd down and 4. I don't know if they try it from 53, so a stop here would be big. Swing it out to Campbell, and he's got the first. It looks like, yes, he does. Man, oh my goodness, we're playing so bad. And this would drop us to 4-4 at the midway point in the season, which would mean we're very much like kind of on pace to be on the outside looking into the playoffs as Campbell gets the run. And I can maybe make excuses for the other games and how close they were. This one, it's a close game, but it doesn't feel like it in the second half as Alea in the backfield gets him down. 3rd and 10 with 3 minutes to go. Hand off. We will get the stop. We will force the field goal. But will we be able to finally score on offense after this brutal 3rd quarter and 4th quarter, which has still not been our way? It's been a little bit better, but still, man, as they'll throw. There's a nice grab. Jalen Leanne off the grab, gets back up. We're hurrying to the line. 2-minute warning. We'll get one more play, and it looks like beforehand. Yeah, Gunn throws it out to the flats, and Bohr has room to run. And Jackson will take 8 2-minute warning hits as we're at hurry-up offense from here. Fullback was open in the flats. We go to the tight end over the middle. All right, regardless, it's a first down into Washington territory at the 42-yard line. Can we finally get a game-winning drive? We've had a couple of opportunities at this. Some have been better than others, but we have had chances. We just haven't been able to do it, and the fullback with a drop. And the rain really hurting us right now. Extra blockers in, out route, another drop. Off his hands it goes. 3rd and 10 for Gunn. Throws it deep. Just says, oh my goodness, man. Like, just says, screw it. Throw it deep. 4th and 10. And short of the line. Can he turn upfield? No, he can't. We get stopped. 2 drops on that set of downs there. They were only like 4 or 5 yard plays, but like they were really crucial to try to get the situation a little bit better. Now, gonna burn our timeouts, and we'll get them to 3rd and 10. 1 timeout to go, so we could maybe get the stop here, give ourselves one more try, and we will. Once again, it'll be needing a touchdown, and we only got like a minute to go and no timeouts. It's a brutal spot to be in, but Jalen Leanne's making it a little bit better. Big grab to about the 49. We hurry it back to the line. We're down to about 50 seconds to go, and we're going to spike it here. As Gunn, everybody set, spikes it with 48 seconds. This is possible, still not easy, but it is possible, and incomplete. 3rd down and 10. Gunn to the air, rolls. Gunn outside. It's caught, and he couldn't get out of bounds. It's 4th down and 5. And the clock is running, but 4th and 5, it's manageable from the Washington 43. 30 seconds to play as Gunn in the shotgun. 4 men down on the line, looking to rush the passer here. They're taking quite a bit of time as he does have a 4-man rush. And Gunn to the flats. Jackson gets the first and out of bounds, but we really took a lot of time there. I guess better to get set than, rush something, but still, you got to find someone down the field. Not that. 6 yards, and we might have 1 play left if we get the spike off in time. Everybody tight to the line. Gunn spikes it. We'll have 1 30-yard shot to the end zone. Can he get it off, though? He will out time. Gunn will throw it to the end zone. It's incomplete. And for the 4th time this season, it is a 1-score loss in which we just could not come out on top in the key moment. And this one was really just down to a poor second half. I mean, we really just played so bad in the second half. That was just hard to watch in the 3rd quarter with the big plays we were allowing. But we're 4-4 on the season, which is not ideal. I mean, so I'll give you a little midseason update. We are leading the division at 4-4. You can see Boston 7-1. We played them and almost beat them. We play one of the other better teams in the league, St. Louis, on the other side, as that ball is incomplete. We're up 24-17 in this one, and it's a really, I would say maybe must win. To go down to 4-5 would be brutal in the second half of the season as Gunn hit as he's throwing, and that ball incomplete, 4th down. So we will still have the lead, though, but the rain has been an issue. Why so much rain, man? It really does seem to hurt us more than it hurts the opponent. So they'll have the defense out there in a short situation. There's a flag down. And this is, I have no clue where it's going, where it's headed, which side it is on. We're going to hope on a clipping or something. And it is roughing the passer. Well, it's just the opposite of what we wanted. Now they're going to have the ball at the 33-yard line, right around field goal range. St. Louis, penalty again. Hit as he was reeling it in. He did make the grab. So what are they going to call here? Is this going to be pass interference? Did he hit him too soon and he still made the grab? And that's what they will say. He hit him. He got there too fast. He still caught it, though. So they will accept it because it'll get him a new set of downs. But, man, 2 penalties in a row. We can't be doing that because now they're set up at the 22 and moving to try to tie this one up. Handoff up the middle. They will not get anything, really. 3rd down and 6. The spot here from the 21-yard line. Throwing outside, caught, and falling at the 3. They rule him down there, and in the end zone, out the back, he caught it, touchdown. We're all tied up, and that was a brutal defensive possession here. Now the offense, can we do something? And that ball almost picked. Chad Guns had a little bit of a cold streak here in this rainy weather here, and we just need to pick things up. We cannot afford to go below 500 as Bohr is running for just lean on Bohr, lean on Leanne, lean on those 2 stars that we have as Gunn throwing outside, diving, and he does catch it for 3. I mean, but like that's just an off-target throw and a check down basically as Bohr will have 2. 3rd down and 5 as we need a quick one here. Come on, get rid of it, and he does, but shit, he can't hang on. And the rain is just playing too much of a factor here. And I think we're throwing it too much even, but St. Louis is going to come out here firing to the sidelines. That's caught inbounds. They got 5 yards. We're inching towards the 4th quarter, and that run in the backfield. Stop for a loss of 1. Big play, 3rd down and 6. Straight dive right into the defense, and he has nothing. We'll take the ball to start the 4th quarter in this tie game. Can we finally come up big at a clutch moment? 2nd down and 5 after a 5-yard completion. Jackson on the handoff, and here goes Jackson making a move. Jackson to the outside. There goes Bohr. Bohr, 77 yards. He's gone. Touchdown. And that's our lead. Bohr Jackson takes it the distance and will go up 31-24. And finally, a big 4th quarter score for us. It's been a little bit since we've had a big moment like that where we can really, come out on top in a big play. And speaking of big plays, that is a big sack there for a loss of 6. Out route is going to get them the sack yardage back and get them 10 in total. 3rd down and 6. Can we force them off the field here as they'll go deep drop over the middle, floating in and incomplete. Defender had enough time to get there, and now we get the offense back out. Bohr picks up a block. We throw it deep, and it's caught. Jalen Leanne, that's what I said. Lean on the 2 best players. Bohr with a 77-yard run, and then Jalen Leanne with a nice play there. The connection's been a little off target to Shanny today, but we'll see if we can get Leanne another one. There's 4 more for Jalen. 3rd down and 6. Can we keep the ball moving? Gunn is pressured and sacked. He couldn't get away. 4th and 14. I mean, Gunn's like I'm impressed that he's even made anybody miss in this video at all, because he's just not an athlete in the slightest. He is all just big dude with a big arm. He has no movement, no mobility, no nothing. 3rd down and 10 though for St. Louis with pressure in. It's tipped and incomplete. 4th down will take over in good field position. Jackson is got nothing on the play. We can go and get maybe 15 yards here. We'll be in field goal range, but we're going to go backwards. 3rd and 12. Another 3 and out potentially incoming as Jackson on the draw. Playing it safe. That's fine. We'll just take up more clock. And here's the punt. And this is something that I really love. Look at how they field the punt in this game. Look at it. It bounces, and he slides down right at about like the 2-yard line. They roll it down at the 5 because I guess that's where like it took the bounce. But like I like how they actually know how to field the punts without being stupid and just letting it bounce into the end zone. That's awesome. That's a really cool little thing. It's like, it's just those little details, but it's really nice because that's just how that works. You slide down, that would have been rolled down inside the 5. So, in the Maddens these days, college football these days, that would have just bounced right into the end zone as throwing it deep. A 4th down, it's incomplete. They go 4 and out. And with that, Bohr Jackson makes a move. Jackson, touchdown. And that's another dagger from Bohr, maybe, as the kickoff here 14-point game with 1:42 to go. They only have one timeout, though, as they return this kick to the outside. Here he goes, just running by everybody. He is gone. Touchdown. St. Louis scores. The issue is they need the onside kicker. It's over because they only got one timeout, and the onside's picked up by us. So the kick return gave us a bit of a scare, but we will win it 38-31, a high-scoring game in which we made actually clutch plays and were able to win a one-score game. So Troy Aikman was the quarterback here, and Gale Sayers was the one who took that kickback, also ran for 145, but Bohr Jackson, 178 and 3 touchdowns. What a game, averaging 10 yards a carry. We go to 5-4 on the season, a much-needed win to get over 500 and maybe start to kick off a little bit of momentum, because that team we just played was one of the best teams in the league. So, you know, like that was a Boston-level team. Boston 7-1. I think the team we just played, like they were like 7-1 or 6-2 or something like that. But we're in our next one against Dallas, 21-6 your score. And how about Dallas coming out swinging for a 70-yard touchdown in the first minute of the second half? They go all the way, and they will kick the extra point, so they won't go for 2 now to make it a 7-point game. They'll keep it an 8-point game, and we got to come out here and respond. We don't want one of those spiraling third quarters like we had against Washington where just everything snowballed and everything went wrong. So let's see if Gunn and the offense can get going here. That ball knocked down, could have been picked. 2nd down and 10 as Gunn is moving outside and tipped around off the hands of Leanne and the defender. 3rd down and 10 as Gunn incomplete. Just 3 straight incompletions, so we'll give it back to Dallas. You know, it's nice to have a game where there's some sun out, not pouring rain like some of our other games have been. So we'll take it. No weather to hurt us today. And 3rd down and 4 the spot here as they will go draw. And it's stuffed. I mean, you got the fridge in the middle. You're not going to be able to run through them. So Columbus takes over. At the 38, hit as he's throwing, and he's got the completion. The tight end is slow as dirt, but he got wide open down the field. Tracked down pretty easily after, but at the 26-yard line, we'll take the big play. And quick out, he got that in there to Leanne. 6 yards. I like how the throws on the sideline are, like, actually a little bit more completable. Like, the trajectory makes a little bit more sense there as well. Because the defenders always, if they're in that vicinity, will always get a hand on it, and that's just not always how it works in real life. So, you know, that's also a nice little part where the out routes are a little bit more, like, viable in that regard. So 3rd down and 5 hits from the 8-yard line, and they will go handoff. Bohr loses yards, but we can take a field goal here, just knock this through from 25 yards out, and the kick will make it an 11-point game. So that's big to take that 2-score lead late in this 3rd quarter, and they'll find a receiver to about midfield now as they got to get moving here. They need some points soon as they'll get a run for 3. Maybe last play or 2 of the quarter. Draw up the middle, makes a move, and it'll make it 3rd down and 3 as we are on to the 4th quarter. 3rd down, they stopped! And maybe they would have went for it, but they lost too many yards to make that a decision that they can make here. Is that going to count as a backwards pass and a fumble, but Gunn jumps back on it. 2nd and 16 as Gunn short. That's not going to do much for you. 3rd down and 12, threatening to go 3 and out as Gunn steps up, throws it, and over the middle, it's caught! It's Kalen Shanny! And Shanny with the blazing speed takes it all the way to the 17, and that's what Kalen Shanny brings. Just dynamic speed. He is all speed at the wide receiver spot, just our vertical threat, but we love to see a play like that as there's Bohr spinning around and getting 3 on the play. In the red zone we go. Can we make it a 3-score game? Gunn goes down, so maybe not. As 3rd down and 10 hits from that 17-yard line. Gunn floats it over the middle. That's caught, and that will be shy of the line. Wouldn't mind going for it here, but we will kick the field goal to make it a full 14-point, 2-touchdown game. 4 minutes to play. Kick is good from 26, and we move to Dallas and maybe their last chance. With 4 to go, they need to find the end zone. That ball tipped and caught by a receiver for 9. That was impressive, as they'll keep it moving outside, and out of bounds he goes. Save the clock a little bit as they'll go approach enemy territory. And with this play, leap it up and grab it, and he's got it for 14. Got to keep it moving fast, though. Maybe you got to score in the next minute and a half as that ball swatted away. You still 41 yards of field in front of you, 4 down territory, of course, and that ball caught, and he's going to keep it moving to the hurry up they go. 29-yard line after a 12-yard gain, swinging into the flats behind the line of scrimmage, and he will get out of bounds, so stop the clock for a moment. 3 minutes to go. Over the middle, short, 3rd and 2, to the air. Swing it out in the flats again. They're just dinking and dunking their way, and we'll give it to them as long as we tackle them in bounds. You want to go 5 yards at a time and keep the clock moving, we'll do it. There's a penalty, though, and that was almost a pick. And I think they're going to get us for pass interference. The thing is, I disagree because pass interference is negated when the ball is tipped by a defensive player. So I think we kind of got cooked there. That shouldn't have been a pass interference, but that should have been a pick. That one really should have been a pick. Okay, 2nd down, and they'll get a completion. 3rd down and 5. Maybe last play before the 2-minute warning hits. It's caught. That'll be 4th down and 3. Here we go. This is their last chance to keep it alive. End zone incomplete. And we'll take over with a chance to just ice this game away. And maybe that defensive stop was the finishing touches on this one, but they'll make them burn all their timeouts. And by the time they get this ball back, they're out of timeouts. They're only like a minute to go. They're moving it down the field a little bit. They're inching closer to the red zone. But the issue is that's a sack. And even if you do score, you need the onside kick. So does it even matter? I don't know how likely onside kicks are in this game. I mean, we've seen onside kicks in other games be, pretty unlikely. But they will get the touchdown there. That was a really impressive play with 49 seconds to go. So they do make it a 1-score game. Onside kick is picked up by us. We win, make it 2 in a row to get us to 6-4. And now to really start to think about trying to put, this division away. We were leading at 4-4. We're not in the strongest division, thankfully, but we can really think about, trying to lock up this division with a couple of other wins. This division feels like, 10 wins would get it done. Maybe even 9 would get it done as we take on Philly up next. So Philly up 17-14 as we are on defense with the deficit and looking to force a 3-and-out here as they will float that one over the middle, and it's caught right at midfield. He's taken down. Real good chance to get off the field there, missed. As now they'll go outside. Oh my goodness, man. Too many dropped interceptions here. That should have been like a pick 6. And now they're getting another nice play to the 31-yard line. The ref's getting taken down. That's another, one of those minor features. The refs, will fall over. You don't just run through them or they'll jet speed away. Like, if you run right into a ref, you will bulldoze them, which is just kind of goofy. One of those things where it's not necessary to be put in the game, but funny to be in it, as that's a touchdown. And right along the sidelines, he just got by everybody. We're down by 10 now as Jackson takes the carry. Jackson makes a move. He gets free. Here goes Bohr. Can he get away? He's trying and just tracked down at the 12. And Bohr Jackson for 59. Can we find the end zone, though? Jackson on the check down. No gain. We really could use that touchdown, though, to make it a 3-point game again, as we'll swing it outside. And Jackson is going to get just 3 on the play. And 3rd down and 7 hits from the 9. Will we be forced to take a field goal? It looks like it. 4th and 1. We do send the offense out there, but this is another one of those interesting little details. It looked like maybe we were trying to draw them off sides. We burn a timeout, and then we kick the field goal. So maybe we didn't like the look. Maybe we were trying to draw them off sides and it didn't work. Whatever it is, we burn the timeout and kick a field goal in the 3rd quarter. That's, just not something you really see very often in the modern game. So, I want to make those, when those little things happen, I want to make that very clear because you get to see some of the unique differences between, the 2K game and the current game. And, even some of the features that we would like to see in the gameplay. It's the little things that really are interesting for some of us. 3rd down and 14, and he's got it completed, but he's short by a yard. and they'll send the offense out there. I like the call, and outside run, got it with ease. And yeah, that's just the right move, and it's going to be hard to stop them for only, needing a yard with the run game playing like how it's playing. As they'll run in the backfield, we do meet him, but he falls forward to get a 3rd and 9. Start of the 4th quarter, still down by 7. As he's got time to throw, and it's broken up by Alea. And we'll take over Jackson on the carry, and Bohr running for 8 yards. Can we find the end zone here? It would be big to get a 3rd straight win, but Bohr loses so many yards. That's a loss of 5 on the toss. Absolutely brutal, and it's 3rd down and 7. Gunn throws it deep. Got a man. Here he goes. Kalen Shanny all the way. Touchdown for the burner. And Kalen Shanny ties this game up. And that's what we brought him onto the team for, as our number 2, just to be an explosive threat for us. And now we're tied up, looking for that 3rd straight win to get real hot in the second half of the season. And to the outside, their run game, making it difficult for us. I think it might be like Thurman Thomas out there at running back. We also got Warren Moon at quarterback, as it's a nice little QB backfield duo there. And they'll get 2 yards on that one. 5 minutes to play. They go with the other running back with the carry, and that does not have the same level of success. 3rd down and 8, Moon to the air. And with time, over the middle, Mario Martinez got a hand on it. We'll take over, and Jackson on the carry. Slips through and off a tackler. Just does not really go down on first contact all that much, as Jackson is running through another man. Takes 2 others to get him down. Just so difficult to bring down as Jackson to the outside. Spin move, make another one. Jackson gets the block, and Bohr Jackson gone. Touchdown. Oh my goodness, Bohr Jackson. What a player to watch, man. I'm so happy I brought him onto this game where he could be healthy and we get to see him properly. And, like, that's so crazy. Like, all we do with the created players in this game is just throw, like, 3 abilities on them. I put, like, top flight speed. I put, like, some tackle breaking thing on him and something else. And it's just like, yep, he's a god. It's so cool. It's just, like, that simple as well. 3rd down and 10, though, for Philly. Moon to the flats. And there goes Thurman Thomas. Not enough for the first, but they set themselves up 4th and 2. They will go forward with 2 to go and swing it outside. That's easy. We basically just gave that to them. I don't know if I love that, but okay. Moon sacked, and that was just too short of a drop. Couldn't get it out quick enough. Now Moon outside, got a man, and to the 21. Now things are getting real scary here. Under a minute and a half to go, and will they find the tying touchdown? Moon is sacked. Too much time, and he couldn't find anybody. They'll hurry it back to the line for that 3rd straight win. Can the defense shut the door on this one? Can we have another clutch ending to, undo some of the unclutch moments in the first half of the season, as that ball tipped away? It's 3rd down and 16. Just about 60 seconds to play. Moon pump fakes. Into the flats goes Thomas, and they just can't find anyone down the field. 4th and 16. As they'll swing to Thomas again. This one is a design. It's a screen. He's got blocking. He's got room, but not quite enough. And with 1 timeout already burned and 50 seconds to go, they will be out of time. They will be out of chances. We'll get a win on the board. And that was awesome to be able to get 2 big plays to win this game in the 4th quarter. So we move on. Bohr averaged once again an insane yards per carry. So I did run into one issue recording, and it's going to be this upcoming game. No matter what I did, for some reason, specifically this game, no matter what I did, no matter how much I restarted the console, no matter how much I, tried to hop in from the beginning, hop in from the middle, hop in from the end, anytime I hit play game on only this game, it froze. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just a thing in the game or just my copy of the game. I don't have any clue why it was like that. It only was an issue for this specific game. So unfortunately, we do just have to sit it. This is I literally had my game freeze like 5 times in a row, and I tried it multiple different ways, and I was even like dead set on like saying like, okay, even if I can't get it in the first half, I'll watch the whole game from the beginning if I have to, and just, hop in and start the recording in the second half. But no, it just didn't work. So we're going to have to sim this one. But, we still got plenty of gameplay here. And it's a very high scoring game, 34-20. We're actually losing by 14 with 7 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. And unfortunately, this looks like it would be a kind of a fun one to be in, with the scoring and the offense and the Dan Marino battle and everything. But, we're driving, we're moving, we're getting it first and goal. We got ourselves a touchdown to make it 34-27 with 3:45 to go. So continuing to make this maybe a game here, we have to get a stop, and we do with 1:14 to play. We get the ball back, and with the offensive possession, a 78-yard touchdown to one of our random receivers. We're tied up 34-34, and we're going to go to overtime, it looks like. Oh, they almost got it. They missed the field goal at the buzzer. All right, we're going to overtime. This actually would have been a crazy game to hop into, but unfortunately, the game was just breaking. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just like this where the, 12th game of the season just bugs out for somebody or something like that. I don't know. We don't get anything going with our possession. We turn it over to Pittsburgh, who is able to miss a field goal. They missed a chip shot field goal, and we take it back at the end of overtime. I don't even know if there are ties. And we will score. Bor Jackson from 25 yards out for the win, 40-34. You can't check the box score either. It's just like, yep, the game's over now. Move on. But you can see Bor had 170 yards and a touchdown, so we can at least see that. I don't know. That was just a weird thing, but we get to carry on as normal. We got 4 straight wins. We are 8-4 on the season. And we were leading the division at 4-4, then win 4 straight. Yeah, I mean, I would say as long as we are able to, in our final 4 games, win at least 2 of them, we should be able to lock up the division. There's a chance we can even only win 1 game and lock up the division. I don't want to take that risk, though. And that next game will come against Atlanta, where we are down 17-14. Atlanta with the ball in their possession and moving to 3rd down and 3. They go handoff, and with the run that gets lit up at the line, they give him the first down. So he was so close, but took a shot, hung onto the ball, got the first, and they are moving to the 47 now, 2nd down and 10. Toss it out and tries to cut that inside. We'll get a couple, make it 3rd down and 7. 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter as they're ticking them below that, as they'll throw for a slant route. Got it completed in a 1st down to the 39. And move into maybe field goal range if they can get a little closer. Spin move there, but a nice open field tackle. Second guy finishes him off. 2nd and 9. Quick drop. Maybe swings it out. Yes, he does once again. And another open field tackle. That is very well done. As we'll go 3rd and 9. And he's got it knocked away. That may have been enough for field goal range, but won't happen. So still down by 3 and an incomplete pass. Trying to just extend that streak to 5 in a row. Design rollout floating for Leanne. They got the catch. They rolled his feet. Were in bounds. 3rd and 5. His gun takes a shot down the field. It's caught. And Kalen Shanny got it and took the hit. As they go counter run. Bor left side. And sheds off a tackler. And we'll get 6 on the play. So we're getting towards enemy territory here. Jackson sheds. No, brought down. Okay, nice tackle there. 3rd down and 4. Last play of the 3rd quarter. Takes a shot down the field. Diving grab. Shady, unbelievable. What a play. How did he even reel that one in? As that's a high ball for Leanne and a 1st down to the red zone. And we are well on our way to tying this game up, maybe taking the lead here. Floating for the end zone. Kalen Shanny. Touchdown. Give us the lead and try to make it 5 in a row for our Columbus squad. Handoff up the middle as Atlanta takes over with a gain of 4. As a short drop, full back out in the flats, open, gets the catch. Linebacker not able to bring him down. He springs free for a bigger gain and gets him 16 yards. 6.5 to go. Toss it out of the shotgun. And a spin move, but no real movement after that. 2nd down and 6. Full house in the backfield. Got another run for 4 3rd and 2. Will they keep it on the ground? Yes, they will. And they got the first down. Just 4 yards at a time, it seems like, is enough for them to keep it moving. Fullback dive, 6 yards. They are running real effective right now, but can we get the stop? Maybe force a field goal if they'd want to try it. I don't think they would, though. Feels like 4-down territory. Columbus 27-yard line. Slant route. Tight coverage, but he reels it in. This is just really like one of those frustrating drives. We just cannot stop them. 3rd and 1. Maybe here's your chance after a 1-yard run. Can we get him off the field here? No, it's a jump. And in the flats, he was stopped, but we jumped off sides. And that's what I mean, a frustrating drive where you can't get off the field, and the one time you do, well, it doesn't matter because you jumped off sides, you handed them a free first down, and now looking for more as they're taking so much time too. There's only 3 minutes to play. 2nd and 10. Drop it and throw it, floating for the end zone. Touchdown Atlanta, they got the lead. And unreal, man. That's just like such a long drive, but now we got to score in under 3 minutes, and that's a good start. He hangs on. All right, the 39-yard line. We don't need to rush too much. Like, we got time. We got the timeouts. Just got to get it done. We just, like, literally, we've been so bad at scoring these clutch drives. We need it, to happen for us. And we've been better in the second half of the season, but we have to have a bit more definitive proof if this team is truly clutch or not. 3rd down and 1. Jackson runs for the first down into Atlanta territory. 150, make it 135 to go after they get set. And Gunn, quick out, and we'll get that for 5. We'll take 5 yards all day. Still all of our timeouts. Toss to Bohr, and a loss of a yard. That's rough. Field goal range too far out. We need a first down here. 3rd down and 6. Gunn with time. Throws it deep, and incomplete. It's 4th down, and this might be your game here. Gunn has got the completion. How did he fit that one in? Kalen Shanny's come up big today. It's been his game. 50 seconds of clock running as Gunn drops back, and Gunn lets it fly. Oh, it's incomplete. 45 seconds to play, but we're in field goal range. As Gunn outside and over the head of Leanne. That could have been the touchdown, but instead it's 3rd down. And now with a first, it got it. It got the first to Jalen Leanne. 30 seconds of clock running. We're still not burning our timeouts. I mean, I'm not really mad at it. We just can keep it moving. We can keep it going. Make sure there's little time left, but we have to score. There's the shot. There it is. Touchdown with 22 seconds to play. We didn't burn any timeouts. We did nothing except just go down the field, score, and leave them little time left on the kick return, though. Atlanta gets it past the 30, breaks the tackle to the 40, breaks another, and close to midfield. A field goal is not going to be enough. 14 seconds is also maybe not enough time. They can throw it over the middle if they want to. Hit as he's throwing that ball. Caught by the fullback. And it'll get him to about the 7-second mark. 45 yards away. You got to take your shot. And he's sacked. One more play, though. 3rd down and 9. But it doesn't matter. You just got to get rid of it. He runs. He tries to scramble. And that's going to be game. So they didn't manage those last couple of plays all that well, but there wasn't really much you could do except throw up a Hail Mary and hope for the best. We come out and actually get the clutch win, and that feels really good to get that. Now we, like, the second half of the season have really just, like, flipped. We've flipped it on its head. We're getting the wins. We're coming up in the big situations. Got 5 in a row, and we're taking on Washington once again. So Washington, a team in our division that we have, we played them. Pittsburgh, which was the one game that the game kept freezing, so we had to sim the second one against them. But like we've gotten some good games here so far as we wind down this regular season. We're 9-4, so just 3 games left on the year. One more win should seal up a playoff spot for us, I think. 10 wins should be enough because how it works is the 3 division winners, and you get a wild card, and there's Bohr Jackson! Look at Bohr! Gone for 53! And Bohr Jackson, how many big home runs has he hit in this season? What a ridiculously fun player to watch in this game, man. Like, he's just been awesome. Big run after big run. The blocking is pretty nice to watch. Like, there's some really, like, high-level plays with the blocking where they actually do get into the second level. They go up, you know, hammer a linebacker, hammer a safety, and, you know, like, they start, you know, because how it works, you know, in the current games, it very much does feel like, you know, they block the D end or block the D tackle, and then they just kind of hold the block and they just kind of stay there. Where these blockers get a little bit more active. Where like, hey, we got past this guy, now let's move to the second level. Let's hit this linebacker. Let's hit this safety, and they keep moving, looking for the next one rather than just kind of standing around waiting for you to get past them. It's really nice. It's like that proactive approach with the linemen. It's pretty cool as we got a punt here. And you can see this is another one. Like, look at how they field the punt. Just slides down and at the 3-yard line. That's pretty cool. So I love the fielding the punts. That's also, that's like a sneaky favorite part because I get really frustrated because I can never, like, kick it to the middle because I know that my computer players will never field the kick properly if they're the ones trying to pin them in deep. So that's like one of my favorite things that I've seen in this game. So we'll go 3 and out here and punt it away and give them great field position. It was just a 30-yard punt. So, like, the punters in this game, not too good as they'll get a run scrambling for 2 yards. And 2nd down and 8, turn in hand as the run will get to 3rd down and 3. Shotgun, they will toss it out of the shotgun, but he tries to go way inside. I think he should have stayed to the outside there. He doesn't get it. And they'll punt it away, so we'll go last play of the 3rd quarter. Jackson spin move. And Bohr will have 5. We head to the 4th at a tie game here. So, I mean, playoffs are still very much, like, in the running for us. If we lose out, we could miss the playoffs. But, like, as long as we just win, like, one of these final 3, we should be good to go. We get a free play here, and we'll take it for the 1st down. So, no need to accept that penalty. It will be offsides, but yeah, like the situation right now is very much just win and you should get the division. If you lose out, it will probably come down to like tiebreakers, and that also depends on if the other teams win. I don't think we're going to be good enough maybe to get the wild card if we do lose the division. If we lose the division, we're not going to be enough to get the wild card, because in order for us to lose a division, it would take us having a big collapse, and Jalen Leanne's going to try to avoid that collapse. There's the touchdown, and he almost got tripped up, but he kept his balance, stayed up, went all the way, and now we move to a 7-point lead with 5.5 to go. And outside, they got the completion there. 3rd down and 3 for Washington. Trying to respond to our big play. Can they get one of their own? Here's the handoff. And a big run. Gets the block to the outside. And he's going to go. If one man can't catch him, he is gone. Touchdown, Washington. Earl Campbell just immediately ties this one up, and we've got a couple of big plays now on both sides. As can we come out here in this tie game? Shanny had a nice return to the 39, and Jalen Leanne jumps up in front of that defender, reels it in. We're in Washington territory just like that. As Gunn into the flats, he'll have Shanny for 4. As 4 minutes to go, just over 4. Gunn, quick pass dropped. And now 3rd down and 6. That's a brutal one. As Gunn will find Jalen Leanne. And there he is, the 30, make it to the 28 of Washington. In field goal range we go, as Bohr is got 2. We can really just take our time, though. We can run out this clock if we want to, get a couple more 1st downs even, and maybe try to make this the last real possession. As Bohr, 3rd down and 4 after the grab, but got out of bounds, so that stops the clock. Gunn will throw. Got a quick hitch route. It's not going to be enough, though. 4th and inches will kick the field goal. I mean, that's one where I would have considered going for it, maybe, just to try to, like, take every bit of time off. But we'll get the 3 points, 31-28. And now with Earl Campbell trying to be the one to will this team into victory here. 2-minute warning hits, and they got to go. Still a decent way away. 55 yards of field separating them as they'll go Campbell. And big hit. Leveled them. 3rd down and 3. And they'll find a receiver quickly. And they'll get into enemy territory. 1:15 to go. It's the offense. They did their job. Can the defense do it? Oh, that's one heck of a grab. To the 26. And that's ridiculous that he reeled that one in. And now a deep ball in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. And the score for Washington with 45 seconds to go. And now we are in that tough spot where, I mean, it's hard to, like, expect, 40 seconds to go and to score a touchdown. We've already hit a couple of big plays. I don't know if we got another one in us. Let's hurry him back up. 26 seconds to play. We really could have just taken a timeout there. That was an awful bit of clock management. Clock management still isn't ideal in these games, as that ball is intercepted. And that will end our winning streak. We won 5 in a row. So we'll take that, obviously, but we do drop this one. So, like, the knock on this game, it just feels like these games really struggle getting clock management and logic really implemented well. I don't know, like, what it is, but you can see Bohr had 137 receiving yards on top of his rushing production. Ridiculous. But we head to the next game against Detroit. And this one was a bit of the same. I think Detroit was the last time we dominated a team. We beat them like 35. We were up I think it was 35-3 at one point. And this was another one of those games. We score a big touchdown to Leanne. And then how about Jalen Leanne again? Touchdown to make it 31-10. And then it was a pretty uneventful fourth quarter full of just nothing, really. So we ended up winning 31-13. It was literally those two plays and then a lot of just kind of nothingness because it was raining and everything. So we win our 10th game of the season. We lock up the division because of it. And at 10-5, only one game left before the playoffs. And I think for us, yeah, you could see 10-5 locked up the division. And I think for us, with this game holding no real significance, we'll just sim to the end. And we will go down here. 76-yard touchdown from Randall Cunningham. But we might lose this game. It doesn't really matter, though, because it doesn't change anything. So, we're not going to, stress about it too much. But we do lose. And, yeah, 20-17 your final. We win the division, though, and head to the playoffs. We also have some awards. There's awards and stuff. So, MVP goes to Marcus Allen, which is pretty cool. Defensive Player of the Year, Jack Lambert. Rushing title, Barry Sanders. Passing yards, Brody. Jalen Leanne had the most receiving yards in the season, which is really cool. Reggie White had 19 sacks, which was the league lead. And 6 interceptions for Willie Wood was the lead there. So we go to the playoffs, and we actually do get the easiest draw here. We get to face the Carolina team, who we've already played this season, and they are the only team with less than 10 wins in the playoffs. So we do get the easiest draw here, which is really cool for us. I mean, we'll take it. 8-18, but we can't take them lightly. They won their division, so we know what we're up against here. It's an 8-team playoff, so this is to go to the semifinals, and Carolina, is he gonna go? Yes, he is! Touchdown, Carolina! And they go all the way. Andre Reed to make it a 24-21 lead. So let's see what the offense can do. Let's just not flame out here in round one. I'm happy with the playoff appearance, and Bohr Jackson gets a first down, but I think it'd be crazy if we could come out here and just win the championship, considering, like I said, a lot of the teams that they're pretty well balanced. I don't know if the created players have that much of an advantage, because they do cap out how many abilities you can put on them. Some players have 5 abilities, whereas the created players, the most you could have on them, it's 1 for a bronze, 2 for a silver, 3 for a gold. So there are some crazy teams. There are some teams that have 5 gold star players, which is just wild. But they also in turn have no silver, so they're more top heavy. But hey, they got some stars out there, and look at this, it's an interception, and that is Mario Martinez, I believe, with the interception. And we have not caught a whole lot of picks, especially the second half of the season, but that is huge. As Gunn over the middle, it's caught, and Leanne will get nothing. But hey, even in this universe, Jalen Leanne is the best out there at wide receiver, which is just sick. Run game gets us nothing. 3rd down and goal. Will we have to settle for a game-tying field goal, or can we find the end zone? Is Gunn. They send a man off the edge. Outside! It's caught! Turn upfield! Jalen Leanne! Touchdown! And our absolute superstar wide receiver gives us the lead. 28-24, but Carolina not to be gone down easy. They may be the worst record team in the playoffs, but they want to prove they do belong here, and they could pull this one off. Still just a 4-point game as they drop and throw. Getting around the edge, he steps up and outside along the sidelines, and that's a grab for the first down. I think that might have been Andre Reed again. They go run and lose a yard. The run game not been too hot for them as a minute to go in the third, and he'll go short in 2 defenders right there on him. Not going to be able to get it. 3rd and 11, too long for field goal range, especially in the rains, and they got to get this, but they do not have it. They'll punt it away. A 30-yard punt will get down to the 11-yard line, and Bohr will get going with the lead. Bohr, Jackson, as we head to maybe the 4th quarter, and another play or two swing it outside. Jackson spins, not able to get the first. 3rd down and 2 as we start the 4th quarter. Can we avoid the 3 and out? Quick throw, got the completion, and a 1st and more. Jalen Leanne just keep on going to him as a design rollout for Gunn. He's gonna step up and sacked. He has no movement ability, and he loses 5 as Gunn to throw again. He's got Bohr, but no, he takes another sack. And this one, 3rd and 21, might be the drive ender here as they do get a short pass for 5. But yeah, you'll give them great field position at the 40-yard line as they'll toss it out. And Carolina stuff. They have not been able to run the ball very much, which run the ball in this game is like the move. So the fact that we've been able to stop the run as well as we have, it's pretty impressive. An incompletion here, 3rd down and 8. As with 5.5 to go, they'll drop, step up, deep ball, it's knocked down, and we'll have the ball right back in a punt, and here's where we can really get going, as Bohr spins off a tackler, Bohr fumbles! No, Bohr fumbled the ball, and Carolina's got it. That's like the first time we fumbled, and it's gonna be Carolina at the 33, and running for 5, and that could be a season killer. 2nd down as they'll take their shot down the field. It's caught. Andre Reed to the 5. It's so close to taking the lead now. Handoff, and he's met at the 1. Not gonna get it. 1 yard away though. Handoff, he finishes the drive up with under 4 minutes to go with the touchdown to take the lead. He just shot the Randy Moss at us. What the heck, man? He just tried to pull his pants down. What the heck, man? He really don't like us, I guess. We'll try and see if we can come out here and do something about it, though. 3rd down and 1 with under 3 to go. Handoff, Bohr. Jackson breaks the tackle. Enough to get the first. He still got him around the ankles, but it was enough to keep it going as Jackson on the outside out of bounds. That's brutal. 2 minutes to play as they'll set up the screen. Jackson makes the grab. Jackson spins off a defender, and here goes Bohr again. Bohr outrunning the defense. Breaks one more. Touchdown, Bohr Jackson for the lead. And he's sleeping on him right now. 35-31 with the extra point. And we've got ourselves an exciting playoff matchup right now. We got some points put up, and now Carolina, can you figure out another one to take the lead? And nope, tipped, picked off, Braylon Boudreaux. And it's picked off the interception. We'll take it back for the 42-yard line and a chance to seal this game with under 2 to play. Carolina burns 1 timeout. Up the middle, Bohr make it 2 timeouts. 3rd and 4, and the first down here would end it as Jackson brought down, and Carolina will have 1 more try at it. Minute 30 to go. No timeouts, and they got to go 79 yards, and we'll get about 2, they call it. 2nd down and 8. Quarterback stumbles. It's Bart Starr at quarterback, and they had the drop there, but I mean, that wouldn't have gotten them much, really. 3rd down and 8. He'll go outside. Caught. Goes down. 4th and 3, though. He couldn't turn upfield to get yards after the catch, so here's potentially your game here to move to the semifinals. He'll throw it behind the line of scrimmage. 2 men there. They take him down. And that's the game. We're going to the Final 4 and a awesome win. Look at Chad Gunn, like a perfect passer rating. And Bart Starr, not so perfect. Bohr, 71 yards on the rushing attack, but I mean, it was more so the receiving where he had 75 yards, including the game-winning touchdown. And Bohr Jackson, just special. And both of our guys on defense were able to reel in interceptions, missed field goals galore, and we move to the semifinals where we take on a a little bit of a rematch here. Boston, this was the team that we had a awesome overtime matchup against, where Marcus Allen, he crushed us in that big run, but we have another shot at him, and our first and maybe only game we get in the snow. If the rain was already brutal enough to actually really impact things, the snow is probably going to be ridiculous. It's 14-3 your score. We're winning right now, and the Boston offense has not been able to move. They have been pretty ice cold as Allen goes down for a loss. Marcus Allen with the MVP. They are the best team in the conference. They are the odds-on favorites. But we gave them one heck of a fight, and we are giving them one heck of a battle right now, as we have been through the elements. We're pretty well equipped. Maybe not in the snow, but we've gone through like a third of our games in the rain, so we should be pretty well prepared here for what's coming. Shanny with the grab, 1 yard as we got the ball back. And really, up by 2 scores, we could just do this. A lot of board. Jackson making a move, and here goes Bohr for a big run to the 38. He's got 81 yards and a touchdown so far, and looking to add on to it. Already halfway through the third, as Jackson in the flats. We've gotten Jackson involved a lot in the receiving game as well. It's just been so much Bohr, as Gunn over the middle. It's caught for Jalen Leanne. 3rd down and 6. Field goal range, it's going to be tough to kick in the snow, but maybe. No, incomplete. From the 33, we will punt it away. I don't even think that's worth doing. That was a net of 18 yards on the punt. I'd rather just go for it and kick the field goal or something, as that ball caught. 3rd down and 2. As Boston, will they go 3 and out though? Floating, incomplete. They got themselves a little caught up. The receivers ran into each other, and we'll take it back, and we got ourselves pretty decent field position close to midfield. We lose 2 yards on 1st down. Gunn sacked on 2nd down. And 3rd and 20, play action. Take our shot outside. It's tipped and incomplete. Almost picked, but that was brutal because we had a chance at that one. The punt is fielded by Boston. Spin move. They got a big return here all the way to midfield. So that really flips the field position battle in their favor, as with 30 seconds to go in the third, they really need to find points, at least a field goal. But Boston has been struggling behind their MVP, Marcus Allen, who has got the 1st down there. 9 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter, so maybe your last play, they'll swing it outside. Quarterback did slip a little bit, but they get no gain. 4th quarter upon us from the 39 of Columbus. A lot of time, but it's running out. He gets hit, and that ball is a penalty. And this is one of the penalties that I maybe the only one that I really don't like, because this is just an unfortunate thing. So there is a penalty where if an offensive lineman catches the ball when he's not eligible, it's a penalty. Well, the ball hit the lineman. He didn't try to catch it, but because it hit the lineman before it hit anybody else, they called it a penalty, which is kind of, that's not really how that works either. If a ball just kind of gets into a lineman's back by accident, that's not a penalty, but it is what it is. That ball though caught, and a big 1st down though to undo the penalty and everything else, as they are in potential field goal range now from the 24-yard line. They really, with how close they have gotten now, closer than ever, really want the touchdown, but 3rd and 11 hits. They might have to settle here. As outside, 1-on-1, and that's incomplete. Nice job to go up for it. So a field goal. This is not going to be easy. Still, kick on the way. It is no good. From 44, he misses. And we'll keep our 11-point lead. Now, under 6 minutes to go, still up by 2 scores. The weather, man. The weather has just been brutal. As you can see, some slipping going on here, and Gunn eventually sacked, disrupted the whole play. The weather is just brutal here, and it's hard to see some high-scoring action, but that ball almost picked. And they'll go out on the other side with a 45-yard line and a good field position to start. Boston missing a field goal last possession. They're at midfield now, and you can already say, field goal range is what you're open for, but, what even is field goal range in the snow right now? And with now less than 4 minutes to play, how much can you really afford to just not score the touchdown that you need here? Will you go 4 down territory? 3rd and 7. He's hit and incomplete from the 36. This one's further away. They're trying the kick again from 52. It's short. No good. And a rough spot there. This is really just weather that they can't handle as Bohr running for 6, but 2 missed field goals. That one, I mean, that's a tough spot to be in because it looked like he might have had enough leg if he hit it right. But it's just like it would have been 4th and a pretty hard 4th down to get. So I don't know what the right decision would have been. As Bohr Jackson spinning off a defender, he's got a 1st down. We're at the 2-minute warning, and another 1st down or 2 could end this one. Jackson for 4. Boston timeout as toss it, and Jackson. How about another 3? Timeout, 1st down to end this game. As Jackson, no, tackled in the backfield for a loss. We will punt, and a pretty secure spot to be in right here is gonna have this one angled towards the corner, and look at this punt. Fielded by nobody and rolling out at the 2. That was a really good punt. Now they got to go 98 yards for a touchdown, get an onside kick, and then get a field goal. Like, I just don't think this is happening for them. They just can't make it work in this condition. Incomplete pass, 3rd down and 10. And with the game on the line here, they're throwing and incomplete. That could have been picked. And, you know, I mean, we're dropping passes too, but, like, it's just not hurting us as much. 4th down off target. And that's game. We're going to the championship. That's awesome. I didn't expect to be here, but I'm happy to be here, especially against the team that was so good behind the MVP, Marcus Allen. I mean, 93 yards is cool, but that's like well below what he had done all season. 8 catches for just 23 yards. They just couldn't do much. They couldn't get any big plays. They couldn't do anything really. So we go to the championship. We're going to be taking on St. Louis, the team that had Troy Aikman and Gale Sayers as their kind of dynamic duo here in the backfield. They have Dan Hampton, Joey Browner, John Taylor, Carl Banks. So this is their team, and it's a pretty even matchup. And we have taken on this St. Louis team earlier on the season. They were one of our best opponents. And now we get to play them in the championship game. 7-10. We are losing. But this is the final game of the video, regardless of the outcome, win or lose. Aikman will get sacked. And we'll take over the football after the punt. And we'll get it at the 37-yard line. As we'll throw a gun and a completion. He hangs on for the 1st down. Give it 11 yards and turn in hand. Bohr stuffed. Lost 2. And, you know, if obviously we're going to go out and win a championship, it's going to be because we need Bohr Jackson to come out and be championship Bohr. As that's a big hit again that we take and hang on to. Our generic players are hanging onto the ball in traffic, which is big. That's kind of what we need here as 2nd down and 10. You need somebody to step up to go out and beat, you know, an elite team like this, especially with no weather impacting things. You can't really lean on that. It's just straight up who the better team is. 4th and 2. And we are going for it, maybe? No, we tried to draw them off sides maybe, and they didn't like it, so we'll kick the field goal here for the tie. And from 47, kick is good. They call it 46 yards, and tie game. And with 3 minutes left in the 3rd, you got Gale Sayers on the ground and Aikman in the air as Aikman pump fakes, goes the other way, and they lose yards. He had to jump over a down defender, and he lost 6. No forward progress for you, buddy. Aikman floating, and it's intercepted! Mario Martinez! It looked like it was a little role reversal there. The receiver was playing defender, the defender was playing receiver, and Mario Martinez just mossed somebody. What the heck happened there? We'll get the ball, the 40, and the run. Jackson to the outside, and Jackson to field goal range at the 33. It's 50 and inside is what we're kind of looking at for field goals for us. As we'll swing one out to the fullback, and he'll have a yard on the play. 3rd quarter, just a minute to go. As quick drop to the fullback again. I don't know how much I love that. That's a loss of 2. 3rd and 11. We need a couple of positive yards to make me feel comfortable about it. As Gunn is going to get those yards short of the line, but there's a flag, and I think this one's going to be pass interference. I think we got away here with the 1st down. Jalen Leanne, we won't have a decision to make. There it is, pass interference. So there was a decision to potentially have been made there if we wanted to go for it or not. we won't have to do that, so we just get the first down straight up. Last play of the third quarter. Outside! The referee is down! I don't even know how, but it's incomplete. As 8 minutes now starting off the fourth quarter, and Bohr loses a yard. And now we could be settling for a field goal here if we don't get it on 3rd and 11. Gunn takes his shot to the end zone, incomplete. And a field goal try now. Kick on its way from 45. And the kick is good. We got the lead here. With just over 7 to go in the championship. Can we win the title? As they'll get a completion there to the 48-yard line. And St. Louis, who do you lean on? As Aikman, a lot of tosses from him. Deep ball. It's railed in. Caught at the 21. And even though there were multiple defenders on him, it didn't matter. Sayers for 1. Prime position to maybe even take the lead here. They at least have a field goal attempt in their back pocket as he goes for the end zone. And it's incomplete. 3rd and 9. And 3rd down. Aikman throwing outside. It's short. And they will have to kick it here. Tie game with the boot. It is good from 31. We're tied up 13-13. And can we now, with 5 minutes to play, find something big? And there was our shot, but we did not get it to Leanne. Now we look for Bohr out of the backfield. Can't make anybody miss. We lose yards, and this could be a very quick 3 and out for us as Gunn. And he's going to go for the first down marker and a lot more. Leanne, if he didn't have to go down to the ground for that one, he would have been off and running. But we will take it to the 44 St. Louis. And continuing on, and that's a drop. Bad drop there, but tough catch to reel in. 4 minutes to play. Quick one there. One of our other generic players got 7. 3rd down and 3. And a fullback comes in. Quick dropping sack. No, we got a pun. And it was a touchback too. Meaning with just under 3 minutes to play, there's a penalty down. And I think that's going to be pass interference on us. And I think that's going to be like an easy 15 yards given to St. Louis. Yep. And now they have a really good chance to make this happen. They got to go maybe 25 yards, maybe 30 yards, maybe more realistic. And that one was their shot to do it, but they go into double coverage. It's incomplete. 2nd down and 10. In the flats of the running back, Gale Sayers, spin move, make it a second one. Off the tacklers, he bounces, and he's got 3rd down and 2 as they'll go run. And Sayers is stopped, and they'll have to punt it at the 2-minute warning. All right, good job from the defense. Now can we do something? As they'll take this shot outside, it's tipped and off the hands of one of the generic receivers. So if that was a shot for Leanne or even Shanny, it might have had a chance. 2nd down, hit, and incomplete. 3rd and 10. We could go 3 and out now. As Gunn outside, Shanny breaks a tackle but gets taken out of bounds, and we'll have to punt it away. So we've traded punts now, and 1.5 minutes to go. Sayers is getting past the line of scrimmage. They'll give him a yard on the play. 2nd and 9 as Aikman hit. It's called a fumble on the field. Picked up. We got the ball, it looks like. They call it a fumble on the field. They call it a backwards pass. That's close. That's real close. It looked like he was turning, like his arm was going in a backwards direction, but this is really interesting. You can actually review this. It's being challenged. Was it a backwards pass? An actual nuanced challenge here, and we'll see. Is it a backward? I don't know. Maybe it was going forward at first, so the ball just went backwards. But this is a game changer. If we have the ball here, we have it in field goal range. And the call is going to be overturned. And staying with St. Louis. Next play, after they got a minute to really catch their breaths here. Deep ball! It's caught! Oh no, he missed it! And he's gone! Touchdown with 1 minute to play! Are you kidding me? Just how quickly and how suddenly things turned. We thought we'd have the ball with the game in our hands, and instead we're down by 7 with 1 minute to play. And caught outside Jalen Leanne to start their drive. We're immediately at the St. Louis 48-yard line, but we only have one timeout. A turnover here ends it. Throw it outside. We got it again. Hurry it back to the line, to the St. Louis 31-yard line. We have just the single timeout, but will we spike it here with 37 and clock running? No, as Gunn got another play in him. Over the middle. That's fine. Over the middle, we'll take it because it got a 16. We just need to get, maybe only one more play left inbounds that we can really afford to take. 22, 21, 20. He'll drop back and throw again. To Bohr in the flats. Got to get out of bounds. Got to get out of bounds. Jackson, no, he didn't get it. We have to burn the final timeout. 15 seconds from the 7-yard line. And he'll throw into the flats again. Come on, no, he's hit it, bounds. And we might only have one play left. Get back to the line to spike it. 1 second. He got the spike off. That was a generous 1 second. But here it is, the final play of the championship for the tie. Look for Leanne. Look for Bohr. Who's it going to be? Gunn. Slant route. Picked off. He wanted Leanne. And it didn't happen. We lose it at the end. And it was such an evenly matched game. But we did not win it in the end. Gunn had a rough one. And the run game, neither side, Gale Sayers and Bohr Jackson, ran it poorly. Both teams just keyed in on the run. And they forced the quarterbacks to win. One quarterback succeeded, the other failed, and that is a unfortunate but really exciting way to end the season and have the final game of the video go down. We'll take a look at the stats here, and you could see how ridiculous the stats are. The worst quarterback in the league still had over 100 passer rating and everything. Like, everybody threw the ball like 400 to 500 times. Look at this, man. Completion percentage, 86%. Chad Gunn actually had the worst completion percentage. He completed 71% of his passes. He also, though, was up there in yards. I mean, the playoff game, I think, counts, so it put him over Brody for the top spot. 42 touchdowns led the league. 9 picks, but look at Warren Moon. Highest completion percentage, no interceptions. What an absolute monster there. There were some really fun moments in this video, though, so, there's some really interesting things. Like, I really enjoyed the gameplay. Look at the stats, man. Look at the stats running the ball. 2,600 yards, man. Like, you look at Bohr's running, and, like, it was amazing, because you can look at the average here. He ran for 1,900 yards, but Bohr was, fourth in average. He averaged more yards a carry than Barry Sanders, man. Like, he was up there. Yards after first hit, also fourth. Touchdowns, he was towards the top. He had 18. But, yeah, it was really fun to hop in. Like, this was a very different experience. Like, the gameplay was very different, very, like, unique, very fun, I felt like. Marcus Allen also had 140 catches, man. What the heck is going on there? That's ridiculous. But you look at, the receiving, and Jalen Leanne did lead the regular season in receiving as well. And I was looking at, like, Marcus Allen just had a ridiculous amount of production. But you can see Leanne, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. Spectacular stuff. He outdid Jerry Rice, so, that counts for something. But, these are the statistics overall. Let me know what you guys thought of a video like this. Like, the 2K stuff, maybe, can be fun to revisit this if you want to at some point. Maybe I play the games instead of sim them and watch them. I don't know. Just tell me what you want to see. Like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And, I'll see you guys all in the next one.